Puerto Rico, tonight hundreds of pilot whales all across the ocean need our help. Every year, about 800 pilot whales are brutally slaughtered in the Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands are in the North Atlantic between Iceland and Norway. They are part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark. I warn you, this video from the documentary Pity the Pilot Whales is very disturbing and upsetting. But these killings are so gruesome, we can't show you anywhere near the worst of it. Yeah, the water is just awash in blood. It's beyond comprehension. The people living on these islands claim slaughtering hundreds of these beautiful creatures is a tradition. That's how they justify it. They say, well, the whale meat and the blubber is part of our diet. But critics say this is a bad tradition that needs to end right now. They claim studies show whale meat, whales are at the top of the food chain, is often contaminated with toxic chemicals. Check this out from the amazing documentary, Pity the Pilot Whales.
The pilot whale hunt is the world's largest whale kill anywhere today. It is an absolutely barbaric activity, and that's the only term I can use, having watched it repeatedly over the last 8 years.
Straight out to my special guest, Christopher Gervais, CEO of the Wildlife Conservation Film Festival. This is what you call the Forgotten Massacre. Everybody has heard of the brutal dolphin slaughter in Taiji, Japan. But these killings on the remote Faroe Islands, they're being overlooked. Why on earth is this gruesome tradition still allowed to occur?
Yeah, Jane, they claim it's part of their culture, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. The whale meat is not necessary for their diet. There's enough agriculture, there's enough import of food coming into the islands that it is not necessary for them to have this annual slaughter, which is called a grind, for them to be sustainable.
This is blood in the water. What we're looking at, all that red, that's blood. And these children, in other words, it's sort of like a family affair. They teach the kids how to kill, and so it gets passed down from generation to generation, and you see little kids in the water there. What does that do to them psychologically?
Yeah, the kids think it's a nice family fun-filled day out. I mean, it's disgusting that you see these little children sitting on top of a pilot whale with a machete, with a big smile on their face. The parents proud that their son or daughter is taking part of the mass killings. And there's just no words to describe what you see. It's horrific.
People on the Faroe Islands say that the hunt is, again, culture. Look at another clip of the documentary, Pity the Pilot Whales.
A quite large part of our cultural tradition would certainly be rubbed out, that's for sure. We will have to import industrial food from the common market, probably to substitute for the pilot whale meat.
We've reached out to the Faroe Island government and the Danish government. We did not hear back by our deadline, a representative invited on either time. Any of them. I have questions I want to ask them. And on the other side of the break, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you how you can get involved, how you can be a force for change. These whales, highly intelligent, highly social creatures, cannot speak for themselves. This slaughter's got to stop. Together, we can do something to stop it. There's hundreds of pilot whales killed for meat, but the experts say this meat is contaminated because whales are at the top of the food chain. And that means that they get the bulk of the contaminants. And so they've done studies that show that whale meat is not healthy to eat for the people on the Faroe Islands. That's what critics say. Now, do you want to get involved and save these whales? Go to seashepherd.org/grindstop to see what you can do to help, or check out any of these sites. There are numerous petitions to stop the killing of the pilot whales on the Faroe Islands, or just contact the embassy of the Faroe Islands or the embassy of Denmark. You know, Christopher, these animals are highly social, highly intelligent. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, they live in family groups called pods. They have a vocal communication. They're able to communicate with each other. They show emotion when another member of the pod becomes ill or sick. When they're hunted, the members of the pod will stay and try to help one of the whales that is being attacked by hunters or even a predator. When they beach themselves, other members of the pod will come to the rescue. Clearly, it's a highly intelligent animal that has deep emotions, vocal capability, and...
They say kill for meat. Get rid of that, because that's not really what it's about. What it's about is killing. It's about killing and teaching your children to be killers. And that's wrong. Teach your children peace.